Yes, close to 500 crores spent over 2 days in the mega auction 2022. Two new teams coming well to the party. One of them, at least, for sure, doing a very good job. The other one, of course, getting into it. So, we're talking about the mega auction. The first report card of the two. तो दो रिपोर्ट कार्ड करेंगे पांच पांच टीम के बारे में in two report cards. And it's going to be fun. I have one or two guests joining also in some time. लेकिन थोड़ी देर के लिए आप और मैं बातचीत कर लेते हैं. आ जाइए comment section पे and tell us what you think about these teams. So today on the podcast we're talking about five teams. Like I said, Punjab, Hyderabad. We're talking about the Delhi Capitals and Gujarat Titans and Lucknow Super Giants. So the five teams that we're looking at right now are teams that have sort of spent well, spent interestingly in a few ways, and it's a good mix of both. तो आज यहाँ पे इन पांच टीम पे चर्चा करेंगे. आइए कमेंट सेक्शन में. हाय भारत, हाउ यू? गुड, वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग टू यू. बहुत ही मजेदार ऑक्शन रहा यार, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट. पहले तो उसके बारे में बात करते हैं. 500 करोड़ के इर्द गिर्द स्पेंड किया गया. Lot of money being put on the table for very interesting names. काफी सारे प्लेयर्स ऐसे थे जिनके बारे में बहुत चर्चा हो रही थी. What will happen to जोफ्रा आर्चर? वहां पे बहुत ही एक इंटरेस्टिंग सा सेगमेंट हो गया where Mumbai Indians sat back and said, listen, we want him, we want him, we want him, कुछ भी हो जाए, we want him. So that was interesting. उन्होंने अब पैसे बचाए, लेट में यूज किया. काफी सारे टीम्स बौखला गए थे कि हो क्या रहा है, जोफ्रा इज नॉट अवेलेबल, बट दे वेंट फॉर हिम. चेन्नई सुपर किंग्स हैड अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग डे वन. सब लोग कह रहे थे कि क्या हो रहा है, बट दे केम बैक स्ट्रॉन्ग ऑन डे टू. तो दैट वाज अनदर फैसेट. एंड देन टीम्स लाइक लखनऊ, मतलब भाई साहब क्या ऑक्शन किया है लखनऊ ने, बहुत ही बढ़िया. एंडी फ्लावर, गौतम गंभीर, पहली बार एक दूसरे के साथ तालमेल उनका कैसे बैठा, क्या हो रहा था. एब्सोल्युटली अमेजिंग. तो आज बात करेंगे अबाउट ऑल ऑफ देम. लेकिन पहले वी विल टॉक अबाउट द सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद, क्योंकि ये टीम ना यार is a team that I am very closely, sort of, I always look out for Hyderabad. I always look out for Hyderabad and what they're doing. And already a few sections coming in, they have a lot of all-rounders, a lot of experience in T20 cricket. But let's talk about all of the teams one by one, the five teams that we're talking about today. लेकिन उसके पहले ना बस आप I hope all of you sort of absorbed the gravity of the situation कि क्या हो रहा था कल और परसों. In the sense कितनी तैयारी और the amount of preparation that all these teams came with, all these franchises came with to build these teams together. So, and it was meant to be built not just for 22 but for many years. At least for the few teams that I saw, they wanted to build for many years, so they compromised on a lot of names. अगर आप देखें, सुरेश रायना, AB de Villiers, of course not there, Chris Gayle not there in the next IPL. Lot of prominent names. Owen Morgan unsold, Aaron Finch unsold. It's unbelievable ki how quickly these franchises have realized ki boss, we have to look at players for the future, the players that are coming through. और इनकी नजर जो है ना हर जगह है यार, हर जगह है. So if you are a cricketer and you're watching, it's absolutely, you have to realize that the opportunity for you is unbelievable. Or even if you want to make a career in cricket, it is possible. No matter where you are, in what you do, if you bring that together with cricket, कुछ भी हो सकता है. So let's start talking about Hyderabad. काफी सारे already comments आ रहे हैं about Hyderabad, and let's start with them. It's very interesting because this is the squad. और एक दो नाम छूट गए तो माफ कीजिएगा. But if you look at it, right, you obviously have Kane Williams. देखो मैंने retention के हिसाब से नहीं लगाया है. Obviously, now that the squad is together, it is together, right? End of the day. So Kane Williamson, Nicholas Puran, Washington Sundar, Tripathi, Abhishek Sharma, Bhuvneshwar Kumar. ये आपकी जो है, this, it's your core. Hyderabad is your core. This is the Hyderabad core. T. Natarajan is another one. Umran Malik, they have kept. Jagdisha Suchit knows the setup. Who else? There are few others that know the setup. So at least 10 to 11 people in this sort of new look Hyderabad team know how Hyderabad function, which I think is a job very, very well done. I will then come to some of my top picks from Hyderabad. और भाई साहब ये दो तीन पिक ऐसे हैं ना जो आपको लॉन्ग टर्म बेनिफिट देंगे. कार्तिक त्यागी एक, टी नटराजन, उमरान मलिक, ये तीन में ही ना आपके पास तीन ऐसे तेज गेंदबाज है, तीन ऐसे विकल्प हैं जो आपको कहीं मिलना बहुत मुश्किल है इन द नेक्स्ट 5 to 10 years. एब्सोल्युटली इनक्रेडिबल रिसोर्सेज. आपके पास मार्को यैनसन है, लेकिन यू माइट इवन नॉट नीड टू यूज हिम. भुवनेश्वर कुमार, वेल डन ऑन गेटिंग हिम बैक. I think he still has a lot to give to this team. And they've added to that as well, right? ये तो let's stick to the bowling first. एक एक करके let's move along. And if you look at the bowling a little bit as well, then you've got Sean Abbott there, Romario Shepherd, जिसके पीछे हाथ धोकर पड़ गए थे, but very very good acquisition. He can bowl, he can bat. Really really good buy. Shreyas Gopal again, lot of years at Rajasthan. Now let's see how he adopts to to Hyderabad. Could be nice. And a few other names there as well. Jagdisha Suchit again another option. तो आपके पास bowling में ना बहुत options है. Washington Sundar है, Abhishek Sharma है, who can come in with spin. So good options there for sure, especially in the seam bowling department. इंटरेस्टिंग रहेगा कि ये एक बात हो गई ना कि आपने राशिद को लाइक फॉर लाइक रिप्लेसमेंट किया ही नहीं. एंड दैट इज वेरी वेल डन इन माय ओपिनियन. You didn't even need to attempt that. They tried for Yuzvendra Chahal, if I remember correctly, but they quickly realized it's not necessary and they stepped back. So well done on that. I feel day one of the auction was okay, but day two they really stepped it up and they did a very good job. Few other sort of really really good picks for me, and especially in the batting. Yeah, I like the look of Aidan Makram. Very 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 good player in from South Africa. He's straight, he's aligned, if you know what I mean. Like the head, the body goes towards the ball, and that is, आप कुछ भी बोल ले, कितना भी आप innovation वगैरह कर लो, but that is a very important skill to have. To be somebody who can attack the ball in that manner is unbelievably good. And with somebody like a Brian Lara, उनका ना स्किल लेवल और भी अच्छा हो जाएगा. That's my reading of Aidan Makram. आपके पास और भी काफी सारे विकल्प हैं. If you look at the batting, Rahul Tripathi was a fantastic buy for them. I think at 8.25, if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Washington Sundar, fantastic. Nicholas Puran, I mean, you never know. If Nicholas Puran has a great season, he might single-handedly win Hyderabad the title. आप कुछ बोल नहीं सकते. You can never deny that, because that thing is already there. Abdul Samad has already been there. I think the best of him is yet to come. Romario Shepherd is a pinch hitter at the at about 7 or 8. So I think they've got a few resources in batting. The only thing that might be missing is probably an Indian marquee middle order player, जो Manish Pandey type of a position जो occupy करता था. I think that is missing at this point of time, but Rahul Tripathi I think makes up for that. Rahul and Sundar will have to really bat well. It will be very interesting how they go about it. A comment from Dravid about the playing 11: Rahul Tripathi, Abhishek. I don't think Abhishek will open. Kane, Makram, Puran, that is solid. Abdul Samad, Sundar, Romario Shepherd. देख लिया ना आपने, Sundar, Romario Shepherd is very very good. 7 and 8, 6 and the way you look at it. Bhuvi, Nattu, Umran Malik और कार्तिक त्यागी. Fantastic यार. That's a very very good 11. कुछ गलत नहीं है इस 11 में. काफी सारे लोग खेल रहे थे और बोल रहे थे कि they don't have a good squad. I don't agree with that at all. I think it is a team that will take time. Let's not make mistakes about it. They will take time to develop, to become something. Lekin when they do, the potential is there to become fantastic. And for me, the onus will be on people like Rahul Tripathi, Washington Sundar, and to an extent T Natarajan as well, to drive this team. They will be the core Indian players to drive this team. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, of course, Bhuvneshwar Kumar to drive this team. And they will need to push, and they will need to be Kane Williamson's support system. That is very, very important. अगर वो आप कर सकते हो ना, तो बहुत ही बढ़िया हो जाएगा. आपके पास ग्लेन फिलिप्स भी है. आई कंप्लीटली फॉरगॉट अबाउट ग्लेन फिलिप्स, अनदर फैंटास्टिक न्यूजीलैंड ऑप्शन. Vishnu Vinod also I'm hearing good things about. So there are multiple options, and it is a very Sunrisers Hyderabad type of a team. They've done it their way, which is something that I really, really like. They've done it their way. They've not tried to say, listen, we've lost Warner, we've lost everybody, now we'll try and change. Now they've said, no, we will do it our way. And I think full marks on that front. The only thing is, they don't have the superstars. They've never been a team that has needed superstars, but आपके लिए ना जब आप फ्रेंचाइजी बनाते हो, when you make go down that route, you need superstars. But we've seen people like Mumbai Indians also refrain from that strategy in this auction. So it, all in all, I don't think not a bad auction at all for Hyderabad. And I would rate them easily 7.8 to 8, almost 8, touching 8 marks out of 10, in very, very honesty. Not a bad squad at all. Not a bad squad at all. I'm being lenient with 7.5, but I think they deserve 7.5 indeed. All right, so let's move on. Not to Delhi. Let's talk about who do you want to talk about? We can talk about. Let's talk about. Okay, let's talk about Lucknow. Wow, Lucknow, you've taken this away. Incredible auction, really, really well done. बढ़िया planning. और interesting बात यह है कि Andy Flower and Gautam Gambhir only met some time back, before the auction. Of course they were in touch, of course everything was going on, but वो तालमेल सेट होना और रूम में जब इतना सारा पैसा है आपके पास, दूसरों के पास पैसा है, to get that set and get that going is absolutely unbelievable यार. I mean, आप अगर आप टीम की तरफ देखो ना, they've done a fabulous job. Retentions तो उनके पास, of course, KL Rahul, you had the leggy, of course, that was one, Ravi Bishnoi, and you had another retention in Stoinis. But just go on to see the players that they have gotten. This is unbelievable. Avesh Khan, Jason Holder, Krunal Pandya, Mark Wood, Quinton de Kock at 6 odd crore, huge steal. Absolutely huge steal. Quinton de Kock with KL Rahul at the top could be the flavor of IPL 22. बड़ा मजा आएगा यार, in all honesty, to see that. Deepak Hooda, Manish Pandey, Ravi Bishnoi, Dushmanta Chamera, great backup option. Now you move to backup options. Krishnappa Gautam, very good backup. अंकित राजपूत could go on to play also, you never know. मोहसिन खान, इस लड़के को मैंने देखा है very closely. Left arm fast, comes from मुरादाबाद. यार पोटेंशियल है लड़के में बिल्कुल. मुंबई इंडियंस में था कुछ साल. मोहसिन खान हैज पोटेंशियल. काइल मेयर्स, करण शर्मा, एविन लुइस, unbelievable. Evan Lewis, they got Evan Lewis at the very end, so he's a backup for Quinton de Kock, or can also play. But I think absolutely fabulous buying. Let's start with the batting. I spoke about Quinton de Kock and KL Rahul opening, right? Middle order, right? Amog पूछ रहे what's Lucknow's middle order going to be like? यार Amog, I am telling you, in Deepak Hooda and Manish Pandey, apart from Surya Kumar Yadav, right, in India, in the men's senior team right now, are the two solid middle order players that they are proper middle order players. Otherwise you see top order players sort of being pushed to the middle order, right? But these two are proper middle order players, which is absolutely amazing. So these two will make the core. Krunal Pandya will also come. Some people saying Deepak Hooda and Krunal in the same team. Yeah, dekho, you saw what Ashwin and Butler sort of put out for RR, right, on their social media. That's just how it is, yeah. That's just how it is. Cricketers at the end of the day are innocent, nice people. And what matters to them is they want to win. End of the day, wo sabse zaruri cheez hai. And sticking to the middle order, right? So, okay, so if anybody has a suggestion on the 11 for Lucknow, put it in the comments. But just think about this, right? So you've got KL and Quinton at the top. You have the option of playing Marcus Stoinis at 3 if you want a pinch hitter sort of an option. Or you can go down the conventional route and play Manish Pandey. Then you have Deepak Hooda, you have Krunal Pandya, you have that's correct. And then you have Jason Holder. So wow, that is quite the lineup. And I've spent time in Lucknow, I've seen the surface, and I think these players will do very, very well there, especially Hooda. Yeah, that guy can smack it. ग्राउंड बड़ा है तो आपको स्पेसेस भी मिलेंगे, तो केएल राहुल विल बी गुड देयर, क्विंटन डेकॉक भी बढ़िया है, ही इज अ विकेट कीपर जो टिपिकल विकेट कीपर है ना, तो ही विल हिट इन वेरी अनकन्वेंशनल एंगल्स। ग्राउंड बड़ा है तो आपको स्पेसेस भी बड़े मिलेंगे, तो आई थिंक Lucknow have absolutely smashed this auction. They've nailed it. Very very well done. If you look at the all rounders as well, काफी सारे लोग all rounders के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, तो जेसन होल्डर, आई थिंक बॉस, huge steal, absolutely huge steal. Deepak Hooda, again, can bowl, can bat. Multiple all rounders in that lineup, and it'll be very interesting how it goes. All right, my guest number one, हमारे पहले guest, has reached office and he is here. I'm going to quickly pull up Siddhant. जो है तो दिल्ली कैपिटल्स के फैन, लेकिन आज थोड़ा बहुत लखनऊ के बारे में बात कर लेते हैं। सिद्धांत, गुड मॉर्निंग, हाउ यू
Yeah,
डूइंग?
I'm good, man. Yeah, लखनऊ के बारे में लखनऊ हमारा दिल तो ले गया, आवेश खान ले गया, मार्कस टॉइनस ले गया, but absolutely solid picks they've got, man.
क्या
They've
टीम
got,
बनाया यार,
yeah, it's
अनबिलीवेबल टीम
insane.
बनाया, बहुत बहुत बढ़िया।
This is like Andy Flower and Gautam Gambhir, big brain power together has sort of
100%।
worked. The only sort of issue for me is one, KL Rahul, Quinton de Kock, Manish Pandey, 1, 2, 3, right?
हाँ,
Unless KL Rahul becomes 2018 KL Rahul, that team is going to struggle in the first 10 overs to get beyond the 70.
क्विंटन है ना, तो आप क्विंटन को वही रोल
Hmm.
दे दोगे ना कि आप जाओ
Yeah, either
एक्सेलरेट
you get
करो,
Quinton to go for the
और
flourish.
या नहीं, या फिर आप स्टॉइनिस को बोल दो 3 पे आ जाओ। ही डिड इट एट दिल्ली,
Yeah. Or you could, yeah,
लेकिन वो
or you
चला
could play
नहीं।
Stoinis at, or you could play Stoinis at 3 and Manish Pandey at 4. You can float them up and down the order depending on how the
हाँ
situation
एग्जैक्टली,
is.
फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है ना उनके पास, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है उनके
Absolutely.
पास, तो
And then you
वो
have
बहुत बड़ी चीज
Hooda,
है।
you have Jason Holder, you have Krunal Pandya, you have Avesh. This is
या
incredible. You've got Ravi Bishnoi. Who's their second spinner?
आपके पास रवि बिश्नोई है, कृष्णप्पा गौतम है आपके पास, करण
Yeah.
शर्मा डजंट बोल, मयंक यादव आई थिंक इज
Yeah,
अनदर
Mayank
ऑप्शन।
Yadav is someone they rate quite highly, right?
करेक्ट, आपके पास कृणाल पांड्या भी है, हु बोल स्पिन।
Hmm.
या,
Krunal
बट आई
Pandya is,
अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट यू आर सेइंग, आपके पास मतलब मार्की स्पिन बॉलर नहीं है,
yeah,
दैट्स व्हाट
that's
यू आर
the
सेइंग
only
राइट,
sort of.
बेसिकली।
But
हाँ,
then that's the thing with the 10-team auction, right? Everyone's going to
करेक्ट।
have slight chinks in their armor. It reminds me, I mean, I was listening to Dan Vittori yesterday, and he was saying it is going to be reminiscent of that 2008 sort of auction, where every team is going to have a couple of unknown entities that they have to fit because,
हंड्रेड
larger
परसेंट
auction.
100%।
Yeah, which
हाँ,
I sort of agreed with. It was a good point. And as you will see, I mean, the Lucknow team is about as perfect as any team will be, honestly. Because you've
या
got
दे आर
Mark Wood as your
100%
express
यार,
pacer to go with Avesh Khan, and you've got a
100%।
like-for-like replacement for him in Dushmanta Chamira. So they're banking on that, hard hit the deck express pace sort of bowler. Yeah, KL
करेक्ट,
Dekop,
करेक्ट।
Manish Toynes, Hooda, Krunal Pandya, Holder, Bishnoi, Markwood, Avesh Khan, Rajput, or any fast ball. That's insane.
क्या टीम है यार, really really good team. Shout out to the Goenkas, very well done, Dr. Sanjeev
Absolutely.
Goenka, fantastic, really good work. I
Yeah,
think
he's
उन्होंने ना अपने सारे learnings they got to the auction,
yeah,
और पूरा पूरा अप्लाई किया है, and I think they got the right person also. I think Gautam Gambhir's cricketing brain is unreally
absolutely.
good,
And then
really
you
good.
see what Andy Flower is doing in leagues around the world. He's won PSL two
हाँ,
times in a row. He's won the 100. He's been really good. And I mean,
yeah,
I think whatever money they sort of ended up saving in hiring like a visual graphics designer or a think tank to name their team or whatever it was, they've put it into the auction, and that's paid off.
Out of the every purple cap listing, how many tend to be spinners in the top 10? That's a very good point, yeah. End of the day. And this is a trend we saw in the auction also, right? There was
Yeah,
not much demand for spinners. कहाँ यार,
absolutely
कुछ
not.
demand ही नहीं है spinners के लिए.
I mean, Chahal is up there,
Unbelievable.
but Chahal goes for a few runs. So Chahal gets
But
his
no
goal because people
demand.
are attacking him. Yeah, no demand. That was surprising.
Very very surprising. मुझे लगा at least Mumbai will try for Chahal, if not Rahul Chahar, but they did not even. They said whatever.
Yeah.
We'll just get Murugan Ashwin. Unbelievable. Okay.
Rajasthan ended up with Ashwin and Chahal. That's like just a tangent, but that's a spin
No,
attack
but
for the
that's
ages.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing from Rajasthan, the way I look at it. Okay. I think it's time to move to Siddhant's topic of choice, the capitals. And first up, yeah, congratulations. You guys have aced the auction.
That is,
Unless you
yeah.
think otherwise.
So okay, so it was so it's I've been going back and forth on this a lot.
Ah,
So the way I see it is, I don't think any team has a better top four than Delhi. They can attack in the power play, they can attack in the middle overs, they can attack in the death, they can play spin, they can play pace. It's got two right-handers and two left-handers, and you get two or three overs in there as well. I don't think any team has got a top four as strong as Delhi, contingent to Mitchell Marsh being fit, of course. But
आपकी
you
11 बता
know,
दो. What's your
okay,
11?
okay. So it might differ from a lot of what people say. So I mean, my four is set. You've got Shaw, Warner, Mitch Marsh, and Pant, and they can move up and down depending on if you want a left hand,
Shaw,
right hand, whatever.
Warner, Marsh. Okay, Shaw, Warner, Marsh. Then
And Pant is my top four.
Pant. Whee!
Yeah.
Very good.
At five,
And
I've got
then
Rovman Powell, who's a
Powell. Okay.
big hitting West Indian. I think he's a like for like replacement for Shimron Hetmeyer at a fraction of the cost. I mean, I haven't seen much of him. I saw him score that century against
I've
England
seen
at the
him.
Kensington Oval. That guy can hit
Under.
spin. That guy can hit pace. He's a clean striker of the ball. He can. I mean, his edges are going for sixes. His muscles are bigger than Stoinis, man. I mean, it's
Okay,
like
so Powell at 5.
Pavel
And
at
then
five.
who
Now, here's my
yeah,
sort of pick that some people might not agree with. I've got Lalit Yadav at six.
I wouldn't they agree with. Lalit Yadav has been a very good player, मेरे
One,
हिसाब
he's
से.
been an incredible player. People talk about Shah Rukh Khan's Syed Mushtaq Ali exploits. Lalit Yadav has come in at 5 and 6, given you 30 runs in 12 balls. Bold spin, taken the odd wicket at 7.5. He's my off spinner. And like, yes, Mushtaq Ali tournament exploit shouldn't be taken out of proportion. But if you're paying 9 crore for Shah Rukh Khan and you're paying just 65 lakh for Lalit Yadav, I don't think there's a massive gulf in quality between those two. He's a clean hitter of the ball as well, and he knows the
Hmm.
Delhi setup. So I'd play
Interesting.
Lalit Yadav, and
So
that way,
Lalit at 6. No,
yeah,
Lalit at 6.
yeah,
Yes,
Lalit at
Lalit
six,
at
and
6.
that way between
Huh.
Lalit Yadav and this guy in and Mitch Marsh, I've got four overs as well.
करेक्ट.
If I get
मिच
Lalit
मार्श तो आपको
Yadav to give me
मिच मार्श तो आपको 4 दे देगा, 3 तो दे देगा आराम से.
तीन तो दे ही देगा
मिच मार्श
एंड
आराम से.
अगर पिच स्पिन कर रही है या कुछ है तो आप ललित यादव कैन बी योर थर्ड स्पिनर इज वेल ही इज एन ऑफी ही इज गोना टर्न इट अवे फ्रॉम अक्षर हु इज माय नंबर 7 अक्षर पटेल कम्स इन
Akshar
एट 7 एंड
7. It's a very good
शार्दुल
shout
ठाकुर
at
एट 8
7. Yeah. Oh, our
and then
batting.
now
This is a
suddenly your
gun batting
batting
lineup.
lineup goes to 8. You've
8.
already got 12 overs in there. And now at 9, now here is my sort of debate. You either play Kuldeep Yadav or you play Vicky Ostwal. The left
Hmm.
arm, whether you want to go left arm wrist spin or traditional left arm orthodox. Vicky Ostwal, in my opinion, can be this year's Ravi Bishnoi. He's been incredible in the youth setup. He's
कर
a
सकता है
bowling all rounder,
100%.
so he can hit the ball as well.
Yeah. Yeah. What about
And
Yash Dul?
Yash Dhul, I think they will take some time to groom. So the way I
अच्छा.
see it
Okay.
is, Yash Dhul would. So if Mitch Marsh needs to be rested, Yash Dhul
Hmm.
walks in at 3. You've got KS
अच्छा.
Bharat who can play at 3.
Makes sense. Makes
Or
sense.
maybe you try and train Yash Dhul as a number 5 and then play Robin Powell at 6. That's another sort of. So they've got a lot of options available over there. They've got Mandeep Singh who can play 5 as well. He's been captaining Chandigarh. He's been doing a decent job there for
मनदीप सिंह भाई
Chandigarh or Punjab.
बहुत अंडररेटेड.
Very,
बहुत
very
अंडररेटेड
underrated pick.
लड़का है.
Even
बहुत सही
Sarfaraz
लड़का है.
Khan at base price was, in my opinion, a
Very
steal.
good. I was surprised. I was very very surprised कि
Yeah.
सरफराज वो went at base price. बट ठीक है,
Yeah.
आई मीन सी
And
हियर सरफराज पे ना सबने होप डाल दिया था फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम, बट ही इज नॉट रियली डिलीवर्ड, सो
yeah, he
मेक सेंस.
hasn't
बट
given
एनीवे
the
ओके,
ROI.
so you've got, yeah, so Kuldeep Ostwal,
I've got
Kuldeep or
Kuldeep or
Ostwal.
Vicky Ostwal at 9. Kuldeep can also taunt the
हाँ,
ball a little, as can Vicky Ostwal. So it's like an 8.5 sort of batting. And then at 10, 11,
yeah.
at 10 and 11, I've got Chetan Sakaria and Anvik Nokia.
Okay. Isn't
So,
there's one more? Isn't Nagarkoti also in? Yes,
so
Nagarkoti is here.
Nagarkoti is there.
Hmm.
So if the pitch is spinning, if the pitch is fast, and you trust Lalit Yadav to be your second spinner, Nagarkoti comes in at 9 and he can strike the ball as well. And then you've got
Yeah,
four pacers, two of whom can clock over 140. I think Nagarkoti they look at as like an Avesh minus,
yeah,
like
yeah.
140 hit the deck and bowl
So
across
this is
three
your
phases.
11. So this is your 11,
100%.
right? Shaw,
Yeah,
Shaw, Warner, Marsh, Pant, Powell, Lalit Yadav, Akshar, Shardul, one of Kuldeep Ostwal, one of Sakaria, Nagarkoti, and Norkia.
yeah.
That is
And then
a powerhouse team.
And
Wow.
also, Sakaria can get replaced by Khalil Ahmed as well, by the way. Like, they've got Khalil Ahmed to boot.
Uh,
When Norkia's not here, if
I
you
I
don't
was
want to
I
play two,
was I was disappointed that Mumbai didn't go for Khalil Ahmed little bit more. अगर थोड़ा और पुश करते ना दिल्ली को तो मिल जाता खलील, पता है.
my only sort of reservation was like, I was wondering with the amount of money we had left, how will we get the foreign players we need? But then we picked up Lungi and Giri at base price, who's an able
Base.
deputy. Yeah, he's pace as at pace in case Nokia needs to be given a rest. You've got Tim
Yeah, yeah,
Seifert who
yeah.
can play anywhere in that top five and can keep.
Team Seifert.
So, and one more player who's sort of been sort of brimming in that Vijay Hazare and Syed Mushtaq Ali sort of space is Ashwin Hepar, who's a very, very good
Ashwin
opener too
Hebbar.
for Andhra Pradesh. Yeah, he's supposed to
Hmm.
be
Good
rated very,
shout.
very highly as well. So
Good
so I've
shout.
been sort of
Good shout.
oscillating between, maybe our middle order is a little weak and our bowling's not as good as it used to be. But then the thing is, no team is going to be as good as it used to be because there are 50 players being taken away
हाँ
by two
यार,
more teams.
exactly, exactly,
So
exactly,
there's no
exactly.
point comparing last year's attack to this year's attack. Same with Mumbai, same with a lot of teams, honestly. But honestly,
Every team.
this is a powerhouse. This squad has got
बहुत ही बढ़िया
even
टीम है.
by the way, one more replacement for Lalit Yadav could be Ripal Patel, who's another
Ripple
person
Patel
Delhi
also.
rates very, very highly.
Hmm.
He can strike the ball a long way. He strikes at 150 in domestic T20s. So I think they've got all their bases covered. They've got adequate replacements for everyone. This is definitely a team that can challenge for the title. Maybe slightly better foreign replacements, but I'd give them an 8, 8.5 on 10 in the auction.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with 8.5 for sure. I think
Yeah.
very very good. A lot of comments coming in about Mumbai and Kolkata and stuff, but जो भी सुन रहे हैं मैं उनको बता दूं, Mumbai, Kolkata and the other teams, Chennai and the other two teams we'll be doing in the evening. Manvinder Bisla,
Yeah.
former KKR, is joining us. Siddhant, if you're free,
Nice.
come by as well. तो मजा आएगा यार. इवनिंग जुड़ जाओ. हम लोग इवनिंग तो लाइव्स करते नहीं है, बट दिस इज स्पेशल. सो टुडे इवनिंग टाइम मैं बता दूंगा. सो इंश्योर दैट यू सब्सक्राइब, hit the bell icon, तो आपको नोटिफिकेशन आ जाएगी whenever we go live in the evening. But yes, we'll be doing a lot of Mumbai, Chennai, KKR, Bangalore, and one more team that I'm missing out on. So it'll be fun. It'll be
So,
fun.
but and also do listen to Sumedh on Spot. I mean, it's the same podcast, but if you're driving, please listen to it on Spotify as well. That's become my daily driving routine. I listen to your podcast and what you guys are doing when I'm driving to and from work or wherever. Please do listen to him on Spotify as well. It's really, really good content.
And also Ghana. So thanks a lot for that, Sid. And the link for the podcast on Ghana is in the description. I know a lot of you like to listen to Ghana as well. So the link to the podcast, which is on Ghana, is in the description. Go ahead, subscribe to it, give it a rating on Spotify. Yeah, do the jam. Thanks, I appreciate that. Sid, I'd like for you to hang around. If you have the time, we can talk about other teams. But
I
if you're busy,
have
you
I
can.
have five or so I have 5 or so minutes more. I have 5 to 10 minutes more.
Okay.
So if you want, we can cover one more team.
We can
or
do
just
that. We can do
generally
that.
something else, whatever you have planned.
Let's talk about. So I've spoken about Hyderabad. We'll talk about Gujarat. Let's talk about Gujarat very quickly. Give us your thoughts about Gujarat in 5 minutes. You move, and I'll take it forward. Go.
It was perplexing. Their auction strategy surprised me so much. It took them
Um,
17 or 18 players to find their keeper, and then I don't understand. So they've got Shubman Gill and Jason Roy at the top, and then they've got Ridhiman Saha, who also opens in T20s, and they've got Matthew Wade, who also opens in T20s. And then at number three, you have to play Vijay Shankar, and at number four, you have to play Hardik Pandya, or maybe if you play Ridhiman Saha, one of them
नहीं
at three,
हार्दिक
and
तो
then
anyway 4 पे खेल लेगा. Hardik will play at
Hardik
4,
Pandya
no
will play
doubt.
at four. Maybe Wade or Wade or Saha plays at three, and maybe Vijay Shankar comes in at five. Then you spend 9 crore rupees on Rahul Tewatia for playing one very, very good innings. By the way, I think Rahul Tewatia should give at least 3 crore to Graham Swan for all the hype that man has generated for Rahul Tewatia over the last 2 years. I mean, I get that he's finished last year. I mean, it's not, it's not looking like the best side. I'm really sorry. Like they've got a very,
Unfortunately.
very good bowling attack.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
that they've got
Unfortunately.
because
Yeah.
and even from a bowling perspective, one who's your number seven, unless you play Gurkirat Singh in there, who's that bridge
Abhinav
that connects you
Manohar
back into
probably.
bowling.
Probably
Abhinav
Abhinav. They
Manohar they
want to
spent
trust.
big money on, but
Yeah,
again
they
Abhinav
probably are
Manohar,
trusting him to do the job. Hmm.
I mean, he seemed to have attracted a lot of scouts, so he has the talent
Yeah,
for sure. He's played
yeah.
4 games at Vijay Hazare and 2 games in SMAT when I looked him up. So he's played 6 list A games. He's coming off apparently a very, very good Karnataka Premier League. So there's some merit in that, but
Correct.
I don't know from even from a bowling perspective. So I mean, this guy Jason Roy takes up one foreign spot. Then you've got, of course,
Yeah,
Rashid
let's
taking the
make the
second.
11. Let's make the 11 quickly, and then you can push.
Yeah,
Sid, thanks for coming. So
yeah, no
Sid's
worries.
Gujarat 11.
Yeah,
Left fire away. So you've got Roy at the top, right?
yeah, of
Obviously,
course. So Roy and Gill
Roy
is
at
a
the top.
good
Roy
opening,
and Gill at the top. Very good opening partnership. Very, very
100%.
good. At three, you've got who?
Three, I've got, I think, Ridhiman Saha at three, or maybe Matthew
Saha,
Wade at
Saha at
three.
three. No,
I'd
I
play
think
Saha at
Matthew Wade
three.
आप वेड को आप नीचे के लिए रखो
बैकअप पे
सिक्स के लिए
रखोगे,
वो
या आप सिक्स पे
नहीं
खिलाओ
नहीं नहीं
उनको,
नहीं
या
he plays at 6 for me. You can try out one of the youngsters perhaps, some of the young names that they've picked up, either one of them, or you can go for a so who are your four foreigners? Let's nail that down first. So you've got Roy,
okay.
you've got Rashid, right?
You've got Lockie,
um you've got Lockie Ferguson, right? And who's your
and
fourth? Alzari Joseph. Do you go for
Alzari
Alzari Joseph
Joseph
or
maybe
Matthew
comes
Wade?
up, or Matthew Wade. I think maybe Matthew Wade
Matthew
at
Wade.
six.
Matthew
Matthew
Wade's a
Wade
good
at six.
shout.
Yeah, so
Correct.
we'll
Matthew
go with
Wade is
Matthew
there
Wade
at
at
6.
six. But then who's your
Right.
numbers? Then maybe Gurkirat's your number seven.
नहीं यार
I'm
तीन पे
trying to
कौन
look.
खेलेगा वो. See, Tewatia is there for later
Oh yeah,
also.
Tevatia's
Tewatia
seven.
is there for
Tevatia's
7.
your seven. Tevatia's your seven.
7,
Yeah,
right?
sorry.
3 is important now. Who's at 3? So maybe okay, let's say Abhinav Manohar perhaps, right?
Abhinav
Let's
Manohar
slot
or
Mano.
Ridhiman Saha. One of those two are
One of
your
them,
three.
right? Manohar or Saha at 3, right? And then
Then
you go on
Hardik
to
Pandya at
Hardik,
four, Vijay Shankar at five.
Vijay at Shankar at 5. Then you move to Wade at 6,
Yeah,
Tewatia
at
at
seven.
7.
Then I think they'll
कम नहीं है
play
यार टीम में.
maybe. Uh, then they'll maybe play an R Sai Kishore
Jayant
because they've
Yadav,
spent a lot of money for
R Sai
him.
Kishore. Yeah, R Sai
Maybe Jayant
Kishore,
Yadav
Jayant
to
Yadav.
add batting stability at eight. Maybe they'll play Jayant Yadav
Yeah. I think
and
Sai Kishore bats also.
Sai
So I
Kishore
think he
bats. So
bats.
maybe either or.
Hmm.
And then
What do
you
you know about
play.
Dominic Drakes? That's another unknown entity. Remember, there's
Yeah,
David Miller also for Wade as backup.
Yeah, so if they play
Uh,
Rhythm and Saha, maybe they're looking at David Miller
Correct.
to
Then you
finish
can
the
play
game
Miller.
for them. Yeah,
Correct.
because I mean,
Correct.
I think there's that South Africa connect as well, right? With Gary Kirsten in
Yes.
the team,
Yes.
maybe he's trusting David Miller to play that sixth role.
Yes.
Um,
And he can
but
also.
then
No problem.
you've got eight, and you've got two foreigners, so you
So
pick
you've got after that you've got Shami
our side is sure at
Ferguson.
eight, Shami, Lockie
Yeah.
Ferguson, and then
Yeah.
maybe Alzari Joseph at 11.
नहीं अल्जारी फिट नहीं होगा ना क्योंकि आपके पास ऑलरेडी रॉय है वेड है
नहीं,
और कौन है
और
फॉरेनर्स
अच्छा
में
राशिद,
ही
अरे
कैन
शिट
फिट
राशिद भी तो है।
Rashid. So then comes Rashid, right? And
Rashid
then
comes at
you
8,
and then you need
and then
one
ours,
Indian fast bowler. I think
which
you need
is
an one Indian fast bowler or an overseas fast bowler. It's fine.
correct.
You can work
Yeah.
it out,
So, but
right?
what I see is you've got Jason Roy, Shubman Gill 1 and 2. You've got Ridhiman Saha
Hmm.
or Abhinav Manohar at
वरुण
3.
आर्यन खेल लेगा यार वरुण आर्यन खेल लेगा
Varun
प्रदीप
Aaron can
सांगवान
play.
है
Yeah, so they've got,
या
yeah. You've got Hardik Pandya at 4, Washington Sundar at 5, one of Wade or David Miller at 6. You've got Tewatia at 7, Rashid Khan at 8. You've got R. Sai Kishore at 9, you've got Shami at 10, and you've got Lockie Ferguson at 11. And
या
that's an okay 11, I guess. उनका
ठीक है
3
चल
and
जाएगा
5 अभी भी थोड़ा मुझे
it's
suspect लग
fine
रहा है.
it's fine
It's a fine team. It's a
three,
decent
four,
team.
five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Rashid will take offense to us putting him at 11, but might as well. So, but it's a very interesting shout, and I think यार पहला तो first thing of course it's their first auction.
Hmm.
It's the first time that they've gone to an auction, so that grace we have to give them. They obviously
Of
come
course.
from a big background of sport, right? They
Yeah.
with CVC Capital, so hopefully
Yeah.
things will work out for them. But thanks for coming, Siddhant.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
Good to hear
having me,
from you.
man. Awesome. Awesome. And
Uh,
see you, man.
Come by anytime. Come by anytime,
Definitely.
and
Definitely.
we'll catch up with
अपना
you
ही घर
later.
समझेंगे.
Thanks for coming. अरे आपका ही घर है सभी जो भी है whoever is watching this is all your home you can come by anytime. See you
Awesome, man.
then. Have a
See
good
you.
one.
Bye. Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So, we've got one or two more teams to talk about. Let's talk about Punjab. I think Punjab's the last team that we're talking about today. हो गया ना सबके बारे में बात कर ली हमने. We spoke about Lucknow, we spoke about Gujarat, we spoke about Delhi, and I think I spoke about Hyderabad before Sid came. So we'll speak about Punjab now. And what an auction! What an auction for Punjab. Big congratulations to Punjab Kings. Very, very well done. Um, I think the purse obviously helped. They had 72 crore before they got into it, right? They had 72 crore. Retentions were few. Retentions were not too expensive. तो अच्छा हो गया यार उनके लिए. It was pretty good. And then they went. But again, like जब आपके पास ढेर सारा पैसा है, आप ना you can mess it up also. And but this time they did not. So let's take a look at the prominent players. Mayank Agarwal retained, Arshdeep retained, and then you go on to get Shikhar Dhawan, who I think can be your captain or will be your captain. Liam Livingston on day 2, great buy. They went after him. Imagine Livingston and Shahrukh as 5 and 6. Unbelievable. Very, very good. Kagi Sorabada, great buy. Shahrukh Khan, like I said, fantastic. Johnny Bairstow, Odeon Smith, Rahul Chahar, who I thought was a very, very good buy for them. Tall, bowls faster, leg spinner, very good buy. Harpreet Brar comes back. Prab Simran Singh, ये उनके ही है सारे. They are homegrown. They are folks. Ishan Porel is again another one of their people. Sandeep Sharma, and now it gets interesting. I think here is where Punjab is the auction. They got Raj Bawa, and this boy can bat. He can bowl. Under 19 setup से है, left-handed है. अंडर 19 वर्ल्ड कप में एक बार आई थिंक ही स्कोर्ड 150 130 ऑड प्लस बिग 100 और फाइनल में भी बहुत सारे विकेट लिए सो ही कैन बोल ही कैन बैट रेयर कमोडिटी दे गॉट राज पावर ऋषि धवन फैंटास्टिक बाय आई वाज वेरी वेरी सरप्राइज्ड नोबडी कंटेस्टेड टू मच फॉर ऋषि धवन सुपर बाय I think he'll go on to become one of their important players in the middle order. Mankad, Vaibhav Arora, जिसके लिए थोड़ी बहुत ये हुई back and forth. Ritik Chatterjee, Baltesh Dhanda, Ansh Patel, Nathan Ellis, Atharv Taide, Bhanuka Rajapraksha, and Benny Howell. Very, very good side, in my opinion, that Punjab have put together. मेरे ख्याल से for a after a very very long time, they've sort of put together a team that can go on to compete with Mumbai, with Chennai, with the others. And it was well done, and I think this is one thing that I liked as well. Thank you, Ramit ji, for bringing that up. Raj Baba, the whole idea of getting in local players, getting in players that people can connect with, that can play the brand of cricket that they are famous for, is fantastic. Odion Smith, I think, fits into that radar. He's strong, he's fast, he can smack it. So I think the way I look at it, Punjab have probably the best middle order in the IPL this year, with Livingston, Shah Rukh Khan, and Odion Smith. That is an unbelievably good middle order. They've absolutely aced it. हमेशा से प्रॉब्लम थी मिडिल ऑर्डर की, लेकिन दे हैव गॉन ऑन टू सॉल्व दैट एंड देव डन अ वेरी गुड जॉब एट सॉल्विंग इट, इन माय ओपिनियन. If anybody has an opinion about Punjab's 11, let us know in the comment section as well, and let us know your thoughts on every platform, including this. The way I look at it, Mayank and Shikhar open at the top. You've got Johnny Bairstow at 3, or you can play Bairstow and Shikhar at the top and play Mayank at 3. Either way, that's fantastic. And then you go on to figure out how it goes on from there. The way I look at it, at 4 you might have to play somebody else. And yes, please, thank you, Varun. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Yes, always, always, always. And then you might play Rishi Dhawan at 4. He's my wild pick to play at 4. Fantastic. Liam Livingston at 5. You've got Shah Rukh Khan at 6. Odion Smith at 7. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic batting lineup. You've got Rahul Chahar, I think, who can bat at 8. And then, of course, you go on to line up your bowling. There are a few options there. You've got Rabada, you've got Nathan Ellis, you've got Ishan Porel, you've got Sandeep Sharma. काफी सारे विकल्प हैं आपके पास. स्पिन गेंदबाज बस, that's the only place that I'm wondering, how do they go on to fill that. You've got a few options, of course, who can come on to bowl. Harpreet Brar bowls spin, so you can maybe play him somewhere a little bit on top, maybe at 9 or so. So Harpreet Brar comes in with spin options. A few in the uncapped Indian category also have spin with them. Liam Livingston bowls a bit of leg spin, but I think generally as well, spin की तरफ उतना focus नहीं था इस auction में ज़्यादा. Not a lot of teams were looking very interested in getting spinners. The focus was on pace bowlers, and pace bowlers and all-rounders have made lots of money. And absolutely fantastic. You just realize the kind of skill set these days that are important for T20 franchisees, and the auction is a good example of that. Over the last 2 days. So, but any cricketers listening in, don't change your skill set. You can be good at what you do, and things might be, different for you. A lot of comments about Mumbai and the other teams. मैं फिर से आपको याद दिला दूं. Just later today we will have Manvinder Bisla on the podcast. He'll be talking about Mumbai, Bangalore, Kolkata, Chennai, and the other team as well, Rajasthan. So come on over in the evening. Make sure you put your post notifications on the channel to ensure that you get a reminder of that episode, because Manvinder Bisla is a super guy, former KKR, won the final for them back in the day, and he's going to come to dissect everything. And few of our friends, of course, who are regulars. So it's going to be fun. Do join us in the evening, right? So going back to Punjab, let's wrap this up, and let's get on with our day. I think at the end of the day, their batting is pretty solid. They're pretty sorted with their batting. I don't think they have to wonder too much. Odion Smith and Kagiso Rabada are your overseas fast bowlers. But your Indian quota of bowlers is going to be interesting. You have to get the best out of Sandeep Sharma, Ishan Porel, Rishi Dhawan, your Indian 3 seam bowlers, Harpreet Brar, Rahul Chahar. I forgot about Rahul Chahar when I was speaking about spinners. They got Rahul Chahar as well. Where is the weakness in this team? It's unbelievable. So they've gotten Rahul Chahar as well. But I think it's going to be interesting, with Punjab specifically. You'd like to think that teams that have done well have set good processes. And what are the processes that Punjab set for their players, is going to be super important. You've got the infrastructure, you've got the personnel, you've got the arsenal. How do you get everything to move in the way you want them to move is going to be important. I'm not saying Punjab don't want to win the title. Everybody wants to win the title, but winning is a habit, and you've got to sort of absorb that habit and make it a habit and ensure that you prioritize winning over everything else. And that's where the role of the coaches, the captain becomes important. तो घोषणा कर दीजिए कैप्टन की, बता दीजिए कौन है कैप्टन. Let that captain go out and talk to the fans, talk to people. Go ahead, let that captain go and talk to all the players right away. You never know, it might be happening behind the scenes, but that's the way I look at it. Let your leadership team groom, build your leadership core group, get players into that setup. If that's Shikhar Dhawan, Mayank Agarwal, either way, I really like the look of Mayank Agarwal as captain. But at the end of the day, it's an option that the franchisees have to take a look for. It'll be interesting, how that transpires and who they go with. Probably Shikhar Dhawan, the way I look at it. A lot of reports say Shikhar Dhawan, but Mayank is also a very, very good shout to be captain. He's got leadership ability. He's proved it as well. That one game where he was captain. I keep talking about this. That one game where he was captain in 2020, he really, really performed to his ability. So I think Mayank is a good shout. But all in all, I think Punjab have done a very good job this auction. But the job is only half done. It's only half done. There are teams that know how to win the IPL. There are teams that know how to win the league. You can win matches with players, but how do you win the league is a larger, bigger conversation. And I think that boils down to structure. It's all about structure and processes. कहते रहते हैं ना ये क्रिकेटर लोग हमेशा कि अच्छा फोकस ऑन द प्रोसेस, ये ऐसे ही नहीं बोलते. They say it with due reason. There is a big agenda, and not an agenda, there's a big thought process behind that. And I think it applies in life as well. So all right, so that was the report card for the first 5 teams. We spoke about Punjab, we spoke about Hyderabad, we spoke about Delhi, we spoke about Gujarat, and about Lucknow. Bada hi maza aaya. Thank you Siddhant for coming in. It was amazing. And thank you everybody for coming in as well. जो भी देख रहे हैं, we really appreciate. And जो सुन रहे हैं later on the audio platforms, we really appreciate that you come here and you sort of show up and you like the content. Please make sure that you subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share this channel and the podcast with all your friends on your social media. क्योंकि we are creating a platform for fans. हम यहाँ पे analysts नहीं है. We don't want to sit and throw big numbers and figures at you. We want to talk about the game we love, and we want to talk about it with our friends. It's as simple as that. And once in a while, of course, you'll see former cricketers, you will see a lot of really good faces come in as well. जैसे आज आ रहे हैं हमारे पास मनविंदर बिस्ला in the evening. For those listening in on the podcast, he's going to be the next episode on the show as well. And that will be the second report card for the other 5 teams. So make sure you do the jam, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and give us a rating. And thank you so very much for joining in. Have a great day. And we will see you very, very soon with more IPL content and more content with a lot of wonderful cricketers from the Indian cricket ecosystem and beyond to talk about the Indian cricket world on the Indian Cricket Podcast. See you around.